please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Check us out over at patreon.com/workingfanspodcast. What were some of the best returns ever? Because like not knowing that the Ospreay return was going to happen at Revolution popped me. And then seeing him back in the ring Wednesday, I was like, I'm all for AEW again. And then I'm like, sometimes that's what happens with a good return. And like, I kind of put Bryan Danielson in the graphic because that was another return I don't think we ever expected to see again. Right. And it's been great seeing him back in the ring. So like, what are some of the returns in wrestling that you thought just blew the door off and you're like, I can't believe this is happening?
The first one I ever really remembered was actually, to go back almost to our earlier conversation, but at the time as a kid, was the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 8, because the Warrior was at his peak popularity for a little while. You know, he won the retirement match Savage, and then I don't know if it was the SummerSlam match where he walked out. He held Vince up for money. And he had been gone for a while, and I was like, oh man, we're never going to see that guy again. And then he just popped up at the end of WrestleMania 8. So I thought that was cool. The music, everything, the character at that time was super exciting. Yeah, the Bryan Danielson one in AEW was good. Edge at the Royal Rumble a couple years ago, when again, that was one we thought he was never coming back because of his, neck injury and stuff. And he came back. Gosh, another one that comes to mind would be Bryan Danielson when he first came back to WWE, even too, after the neck injury too. That was a good one. So he's had great returns on a couple occasions, actually.
When AEW was early on, that Christian return was kind of wild.
Yeah, Christian. CM Punk.
I was gonna wait to the end to mention it. Be like, hey, we kind of forgot about the biggest one, CM Punk, when he came back. That did some business for AEW. And then it was even wilder when he returned to WWE.
Yeah.
Featured in this year's 2K26 video game, by the way.
I mean, it's one that's probably going to get lost because it's been more about the story and everything like that. But Cody Rhodes returning to WWE as the American Nightmare, with his music and everything unchanged from the independent and AEW, and coming in, like, that was a crazy return.
Damn, I didn't even think of Cody on this. AJ Lee,
yeah,
that was a big one, especially because Punk made it seem like it wasn't going to happen for so long that we just kind of believed, like, okay, it's not going to be that way.
Right. I mean, we were talking about WrestleManias earlier. There was that one where the Hardy Boys came back after they had competed at Ring of Honor that weekend, and Supercard. There was the
line. Oh yeah, I was down in Florida for that. That was wild. The response that they were making a lot of their independent things too. They had, Supercard of Honor. Then they had like WrestleMania, like events that they still were at.
Yeah. One that probably wouldn't get talked about a ton, but it's interesting, is that AJ Styles in WWE this past year before he retired returned to TNA, just to talk about TNA being on the map and help really, put over Leon Slater. But that's one like I never would have saw coming, was AJ coming back to TNA at that time.
Yeah, that was huge as well.
This wasn't a comeback because he had never been that, but a return when Sting first showed up in WWE at that Survivor Series, like Sting in WWE, Sting in AEW when he came back.
Yeah, that was kind of a return, because I don't know if we thought we'd see him wrestle again. He had wrestled since WCW, but making that return to like the mainstream. Mm-hmm. It's a shame it didn't go better in WWE.
Yes.
Damn, would that be among the worst WrestleManias? Because Sting, was that the WrestleMania San Francisco?
Yes.
So that wasn't bad, because that had the Seth Rollins cash in. That's still one of the most widely played moments.
Also, Seth was the victim of one of the great RKOs of all time, going for the curb stomp and getting thrown up.
Yep, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like the video from that.